Okay, so in a absolutely hilarious turn of events, Alberta's referendum process, which means on a ballot to the entire province, should Alberta separate, yes or no, is actually confirmed to be taking place. It's 100% happening. So if you've been wondering if it's up in the air, it's been confirmed by Danielle Smith. It's a legal procedure that has been confirmed that it is taking place. So Alberta gets to choose on whether or not they are separating. Now, this didn't happen for the reasons you may think. This actually happened because, well, people that were organizing a counter referendum process. Okay. So there was the referendum separatist group that was like, hey, yeah, let's separate. Then there was a totally other group of people going, no, Canada first. Canada can't separate. And they collected enough signatures to basically put forward, this is so funny, to put forward an actual process on whether or not Albertans get to vote on if they should be able to have this on a ballot. And they got the right amount of signatures to trigger it. So the counter protesters triggered the referendum process from happening. I mean, it doesn't get more poetic than that. So here we go. We're going to take a look at all this information. It's super funny, but it's also super serious. All I ask in return is for you guys to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting off with going off into the deep end, Danielle Smith, who confirms that this is happening.
Mr. Lukasik's vote is a yes-no question. It is a separatist referendum. He may be trying to characterize it differently. But if you ask people if you want to remain in Alberta, yes or no, there are implications if people answer no.
So like I said, this was an anti-separatist guy who ran this Forever Canada petition, and he got the required number of signatures to trigger the referendum process for happening. So basically, it's going to be a question as simple as, should Alberta remain in Canada? Yes or no? And this was done from the anti-separatist group, if I'm not mistaken, called Forever Canada. So that's just funny. Like, I don't even know how else to characterize this other than, yep, it's really happening. And they don't even know what the hell they actually did. Now, this is explained from Keith Wilson, who's a well-known lawyer in Canada. Here's the best evidence to show how badly this anti-separatist guy, okay, misled his supporters, and that he has now triggered a 2026 referendum on independence. You can't make this up. His petition was not about forcing a vote in the legislature. Read his application. He just filed the signatures needed to cause a referendum. Thanks, Thomas. Thomas, to tell you the truth, your petition calls for a referendum. Here is the legal application you signed. Did you lie to your supporters to get this signature? So here you go. Petition information. Legislative or policy proposal requires a signature from 10% of electors on the post-election day list. Constitutional referendum proposal requires 20%. Since a referendum, so the applicant is motivated by, since a referendum appears to be imminent anyway, it should be objective and not directed by any special interest group. This was filed on June 5th, 2025. Therefore, we, as presented by the signatory and applicant below, propose a referendum in the following question. Do you agree that Alberta should remain in Canada? That is the question. Let me just move my camera so you can see it here. It's highlighted in yellow at the very bottom. Do you agree that Alberta should remain in Canada? That is the question that was on the legal document. So these idiots who ran the anti-separatist group, the people out there that were like, hey, no, Alberta needs to remain part of Canada because Alberta is wanted. Alberta is loved. So let's just make sure that we gather enough signatures from people who want to vote on whether Alberta should remain in Canada, which it doesn't matter your motives for that, whether you genuinely believe that Alberta should remain in Canada or if you believe Alberta shouldn't remain in Canada. If you're raising the amount of signatures with the legal process, with a signed document, then it's there. It's in law. And so these people literally caused a referendum process from happening. So it's done. It's set in stone. 2026, there will be a referendum process by a group that is anti-referendum. So there's multiple different ways to look at it. I choose this is absolutely hilarious and poetic way, but there's also the way of, let's just peeling a Band-Aid off. Let's just decide straight up, should Alberta remain a part of Canada? Yes or no? And if the counter protesters, the anti-separatists seem to think that Albertans the majority want to remain in Canada, well, we're going to find out. But this process is actually happening. And whether your motive was for separatists or not, the referendum has officially been triggered as of today by the anti-referendum, anti-separatist group. Maybe there's only one way of looking at it. It's just hilarious. I don't know. Maybe I'm drinking too much these days and I just find everything funny, but I genuinely think that this is poetically absolutely hilarious. And I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. How do you feel about this? The referendum process is happening. So before you think, okay, well, I'm just going to get up and leave from where I live and go move to Alberta so I can vote, there are some stipulations around that. Okay. I think you got to be living in Alberta for more than 12 months. And, if the referendum process takes place in 12 months to this day, then you would have needed to have, owned a place in Alberta yesterday at the very latest. And so, I myself and my family have been saying that we were going to relocate to Alberta. Depending on when the vote happens, I might need to buy a piece of land from somebody, like a shack, just so I can put my address down in Alberta. Can I say that? No, sorry. So, because I want to move my family to Alberta, and we would love to participate in this referendum process, which we're allowed to do. Is that how I'm supposed to say it? We want to move to Alberta. I've expressed that interest consistently throughout the course of my channels. And if it happens that it's done in time before, so that I can, and me and my family can vote, then that's the process. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. I don't want to get in trouble for saying things that maybe in a way that I shouldn't. But again, referendum process is happening. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's on, baby. It is on. By the way, go Jays. Bye-bye.